Okay, I wanted to do some. A day wouldn't be complete without a little acoustic blues. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I think I'm gonna try capoing up and see what happens. I like the sound of a capo on this guitar, on any guitar really, but I like a. Lately, I've been working in the key of G minor, which is basically, you know, 3rd fret capo, and I'm liking the sound of it because I can actually sing in that key pretty well these days. As I mentioned before, my voice is, like many of us, my voice has dropped a little over the years, finally, but that's okay. When I recorded a duet with John Lee Hooker back in a long time ago, I was back in my 30s, I guess, late 30s, early 40s, and what he hit me to was, you know, here's a guy that's got the, you know, the wisdom in him, in his bones, right? And you know, he came up in the Delta way back when, and he's seen so much. But what he said was, he said, you know, Jim, he goes, I do the hell out of John Lee Hooker, and I love that. Stuck in my mind. I love that because here's a guy that had many challenges and many things, God, you can imagine, right? Growing up black in the South and back in the Jim Crow era. And yet he survived and he flourished, you know, the Boogie Chillen, ha ha, and all that. And then, you know, he ended up having a hit with Bonnie Raitt decades later and recording with everybody from Carlos Santana to John Lee, or well, see, who did he record with? Morrison, he did a thing. But he did with what he had. He had a stutter and he had, you know, all those things. And when he moved up to Detroit, he became a huge, he sold millions of records back in the 50s with Boogie Chillen. I think it was the late 50s. So here's a guy that was an overcomer, if there ever was one. And he by him saying, I do the hell out of John Lee Hooker, what it said to me was, you know, just be true to yourself, right? Like, to thine own self be true. And do with what you got, but make it authentic if you can. So anytime you can. We all have to do, you know, sometimes we have to do cover songs. We have to do whatever we do to make a living. But personally, I try to at least make it my own. If I do a cover, I try to own it. Maybe do it a little bit different than the original. Put my own brand on it, you know. So I'm just going to play a little acoustic blues in G minor in this case. It'll look like an E minor, though, because I'm capoed up. Let's see.